What is up, awesome people of the internet? Hello, hello, hello. Happy Friday, y'all. We made it, y'all. We made it to Friday, and today is a good day. One, because it's Friday, and two, today is a good day because we are talking about women's basketball again. Because, who doesn't want to always talk about women's basketball? So guys, let's kind of give you a rundown of what today's show is going to be. Today's show is going to be a deep dive into some of the player or coach of the year candidates. We're going to take a look at some of the coaches that I feel have the strongest case for coach of the year, and we're just going to walk through the list and talk about the history of the coach of the year winner. And yeah, we're just going to get all into it regarding coach of the year. At the end of it, if you all want to talk about other topics, we can go there as well. But the main topic of this conversation is going to be the Naismith Women's Basketball Coach of the Year. All right, so that is the topic today. Not the most exciting topic, I would say, for sure. I think it's exciting, but in terms of conversation, this one probably won't be as lively as some of the other lives we've had in the past. But I do think this is an important topic because, yeah, we talk about the players all the time and whatnot, but some of these coaches are really doing something very, very special, and I think it's important for us to acknowledge that and also give some predictions before we find out the winner for the Naismith Women's College Coach of the Year. Kentucky Lucky, what up? Kentucky Lucky says, great topic. Nolan says, look like Vic Schaefer is 12-3 without Rory Harmon. Very good, and his girls really respect and appreciate it. It seems. Yep. Yeah, we're gonna get into Vic Schaefer because I do think he has a pretty strong case for Coach of the Year, and we're just gonna go down the line and talk about it all. What up, J Bug? J Bug says, hey, everybody. Good evening. What up, Groovy? What up? Bet says, hi, y'all. Hey, Bet. Hope y'all having a great Friday. I'm not sure if y'all had to go to work today, but if y'all did, I hope y'all had a fantastic day. For those who are still in school, hope y'all had a fantastic day at school. Because it's Friday, y'all. It's Friday, and it's time to celebrate. Kentucky Lucky says, when does Coach of the Year run? Is it just regular season, or is it previous year tournament into this year's season? So it's this current season that we're in right now, and the winner will be announced in April. So it is just pretty much just a regular season. But yeah, we should find out the winner likely in April. DD in Tennessee says, hey, everybody. What up, DD? I like your name, DD in Tennessee. Hinokami Kai says, what up, though, y'all? Just popping through on my lunch break. Well, I hope you having a great lunch. Let us know what you eating for lunch. let us know what you eating for lunch. All right, y'all. So let's kind of start with a little bit of history about the Coach of the Year. So the Naismith Coach of the Year has been going on for a long time. Naismith actually runs several awards. They do Player of the Year. They do Coach of the Year for college, men's and women's. They do same thing for high school as well. They also do Defensive Player of the Year as well. So that is something that you all should know. Particularly for this stream, we're going to be talking about the Women's Basketball Coach of the Year, but they also do other awards as well. And here's a list of some of the past winners. So when we look at the past winners, you see some familiar names, right? Dawn Staley won the last 2 years. She's definitely in the running for this year as well. So it's possible that she may win 3 times in a row. We also see Tara VanDerveer on the list. Dawn Staley and Tara VanDerveer are the only they're both in the running for this year as well. We also have Lisa Bluder, who won in the past. Vic Schaefer from Mississippi State. Now he's with with Texas now. And we're going to talk more about him in a sec. Muffet McGraw won. Courtney Banghart won. When she was at Princeton. Kim Mulkey won when she was at Baylor. We had Connie Yori, who won 1 year as well. She was with Nebraska. Gina Oriema has won a couple times. Sylvia Hatchell when Sylvia Hatchell was coaching North Carolina. Pokey Chapman won when she was at LSU. Pat Summitt, of course. Gail Gestenkors, who was phenomenal at Duke for a long, long time before she ended up leaving Duke, and she went to Texas for a while. And yeah, of course, Muffet McGraw, the coach, Carolyn Peck, when she was at Purdue. There's a long list of coaching greats who have won this award. This is not the full history of all the people who have won the award, but I just wanted to just show sort of the last several years so you all can kind of get a little bit of context about this Coach of the Year award. Oh, thank you so much, PK. PK 2001 says, "Love your show. Thanks for all that you do." Thank you. Thanks for rocking with me. Appreciate it. Hinokami Kai is having 2 sliders and some fries. Nice. I mean, you can't go wrong with a burger and fries. You can't go wrong. Jay Boog is saying, "Give it to Donnie again." We're gonna get to it because I have a particular favorite that I am rooting for Coach of the Year. But we're gonna get into it though. So let's actually take a look at what they're looking for when it comes to Coach of the Year. So the Coach of the Year is presented annually by Naismith, and it's presented to the most outstanding women's basketball coach who achieves tremendous on-court success. The winner of this Coach of the Year award will be announced in April, leading up to the Final Four. So for those who are wondering, that's kind of the information about that. Now let's kind of take a look at the contenders for this year. So for this year, Naismith just released their late late season contenders. I believe it was released about 2 days ago. And here's the list. So we're gonna go through some of these names. So we have Lisa Bluder with Iowa, Kenny Brooks with Virginia Tech, Cori Close with UCLA, Lisa Fortier with Gonzaga, Lindsay Gottlieb with USC, Felisha Legette-Jack with Syracuse, Kevin McGuff with Ohio State, Jeff Mittie with Kansas State, Wes Moore with NC State. We have Kim Mulkey with LSU, J.R. Payne with Colorado, Scott Rueck with Oregon State, Vic Schaefer with Texas, Don Staley with South Carolina, and we have Tara VanDerveer with Stanford. So that is the list of the coaches who are in the running for this Coach of the Year award. And you'll see, as you heard, some familiar names, right? Coaches who have won in the past. We said Don Staley earlier, Tara VanDerveer, Kim Mulkey, Vic Schaefer. These are coaches who have won it in the past, but we also see some new names on the list as well. And sort of some up-and-coming coaches that are really, really doing their thing at their respective programs. So we are going to go down the list, and I am not going to go down and talk about every single coach. I will briefly talk about every single coach, but there are a couple of coaches that I really do want to highlight because we talk about some of the big ticket teams, right? We talk about Iowa a lot. We talk about South Carolina a lot. We talk about LSU a lot. There's some talk about USC. A lot of these well-known coaches are already getting their just due in terms of accolades and all that good stuff. But there are some coaches that I'm like, wow, they're doing their thing, and they're on the list for Coach of the Year. And I got to talk about it. So that's what we gonna do today. Before I get into it, I do want to see some of y'all comments. You know, Kamikaze says, I don't want Mulkey to have any nice things. Why not? Come on. Bad Guy Rob says Coach Dawn is getting a statue. Yes, she is. Yep. Replace 5 starters and Letitia Amihir and Victoria Saxton without missing a step. And 1 starter is Aaliyah Boston and another is Zaya Cook. Yeah. She has been doing her thing this season. Queen says, haven't heard that name in a minute, Pokey Chapman. Yeah. Y'all, Pokey Chapman, she was dominating the coaching scene at LSU for a long time. Then she had that scandal, and then she had to leave LSU, and she went overseas for several years. She came back, went to the Chicago Sky. That didn't work out. And now she is an assistant coach with the Seattle Storm. So for those who are wondering what happened to Pokey Chapman, she's in the WNBA now. She is coaching. She's an assistant coach for Seattle, the Seattle Storm. So that is something. If you are interested, that's a little bit of knowledge about Pokey Chapman, who was at LSU for a while and was really, really good. This was back when LSU had Sylvia Fowles on the team. So. Also, while you guys are joining, if you all can do me a favor and hit that like button, that would be fantastic. Helps more people find the live. What's up, Bet? Bet says my first live. Yeah. That's awesome. Thanks for joining. Thanks for joining, Bet. J Book says, I agree there are some great coaches out there doing their thing. Facts. Okay, Aubrey has her vote in. Aubrey says, Quita, I gotta give the Coach of the Year to Wes Moore. They weren't even picked to win the ACC, and he's doing an amazing job. Michaela says, there's no way Don doesn't three-peat. Really? Nolan says, maybe Niele Ivy will make the list in the next couple of years. Yeah, maybe. Yep. Michaela says, I feel that TCU head coach should have been in the running, but all the injuries happened. Yeah. Had all the injuries not happened, Goodness Rated says, what was the scandal? I believe Pokey Chapman had a relationship with one of the players. I believe that was the scandal that happened, and she, of course, had to leave the school. Let me actually just do a quick fact check on that. Because that's what I remember several years ago. Yeah, there was an alleged misconduct claim. There was. She had to resign due to the university being notified of an alleged sexual relationship between Pokey Chapman and a former player. So that's what happened. And then she had to go away for a while. And she actually coached several WNBA players overseas for a while. And then she came to the Chicago Sky. And y'all, I was like the biggest Pokey Chapman fan at the time. And like when she left, I like kept following her career. And so that's why I know all this random stuff about Pokey Chapman. And also she coached the Chicago Sky for a while. But yeah, anyway, that's what happened. All right. So, with that little detour, let's kind of talk about some of the coaches that I've been very impressed with this season. And we're going to begin with Syracuse's Felisha Legette-Jack. Now, Felisha Legette-Jack is in her second year at Syracuse. And Syracuse is actually her alma mater. She attended Syracuse, played for Syracuse as a player, and now she has an opportunity to bring her team, her former team, Glory, as a head coach, which is pretty cool. So, she's in her second year. Before she went to Syracuse to be the head coach, she was coaching at the University of Buffalo, where she did fantastic things. She went to the University of Buffalo and turned that team around. So the University of Buffalo played in the MAC conference, and she led the team to 4 NCAA tournament berths. They also made it to the Sweet 16 in 2018, which was like kind of wild. She is the winningest coach in the University of Buffalo's history with 202 wins and 115 losses. She was pretty fantastic. And that was just sort of for conference play. When her career with University of Buffalo's ended, Felisha Legette-Jack had 6 20-win seasons. She also had a total record of 343 wins and 279 losses. She really did turn around the University of Buffalo, and she decided to go to her alma mater 2 years ago to become the head coach of Syracuse. And y'all, when she took over Syracuse was a little bit of a mess. Like, they weren't very good. Before taking over the team, they had a record of 11 wins and 18 losses overall. They were also 4-14 in conference play, and they play in the ACC. We also saw this team get a whole lot better last season in Felisha's first year with the team. Last year, they had a record of 20-13. They were 9-9 in conference play. So a pretty stark turnaround in just 1 year for this team. And fast forward to this year, in the second year of her being the head coach of Syracuse, they have a record of 22-5. They are 12-4 in the conference. They are ranked 17th in the nation, and they are second in the ACC. Like, this has been a huge turnaround for this program. And when we think about coaches of the year, yes, we think about teams that have great winning percentages, right? But what I think about also is a coach who has completely transformed a program. And that's exactly what Felisha Legette-Jack did. She has transformed Syracuse to where Syracuse is actually seen now as a pretty good squad. Not even a pretty good squad, a very good squad. Yes, they lost the other day, but that, still, even with that loss to, I believe it was Duke yesterday, they're still a fantastic team. They are second in the ACC. And the thing to know about Syracuse is coming into the season, they were projected to finish 9th in the ACC. They were projected to finish in 9th place. They're now second in the ACC. If Syracuse is able to continue to stay at number 2 in the ACC, this will be the largest jump from the ACC preseason poll to the final standings in league history. So Felisha Legette-Jack, there's not that much talk about her. She doesn't get a lot of attention, but y'all, she is a coach that you need to know about. She 100% is, and I don't think it's likely that she will win this award, but I truly believe she is very, very deserving of winning Coach of the Year just for how she has transformed this program from pretty much nothing to a very, very good team. And this is not me sort of throwing shade on how Syracuse was before, but objectively speaking, like, they weren't good. They weren't. Their record was really, really bad before Felisha Legette-Jack joined the program, and she's turned it around. So if y'all don't know, now you know. Pay attention to the Orange and pay attention to their head coach, Felisha Legette-Jack, because this lady's going somewhere. She is a fantastic coach, and she really does deserve her flowers, because I don't really see anybody talking about her at all. And just to see the turnaround that Syracuse has had has been phenomenal. So shout out to Felisha Legette-Jack. She likely will not win this award, but I think she is very, very much deserving of this award and should be highly, highly considered because of the way that they have turned it around. All right, now let's move over to Oregon State, y'all, and talk about their head coach, Scott Rueck. So Scott Rueck is in his 14th season at Oregon State, and y'all, this man has helped this team get some huge, huge, huge wins. Actually, before we get into Scott Rueck, I do want to see some of y'all comments. Let's see. Queen says Coach Yo should have been on that list too. Donovan says it should either be Don Staley or Felisha. Lisa Fortier, because of their domination in their respective conferences. Let's see. What else I got to say? Michaela says, wow, crazy turnaround. Showed you how much coaching matters. Yeah, coaching really does matter. It really does. Bad guy Rob says Auburn's coach needs some flowers. Yeah, Coach Johnny Johnny Harris. She's a really good coach as well. she has really done a good job coaching up the ladies at Auburn. So yes, she absolutely does deserve some flowers as well. All right, so let's move on to talk about coach of Oregon State, Scott Rueck. Scott Rueck. Scott Rueck is in his 14th season at Oregon State. And y'all, Oregon State has been balling this year. So let me tell you the turnaround that this team has had from last year to this year. So they have a record of 21-3 on the season. They are 10-3 in conference play. And y'all, they play in the Pac-12, which has been like the most insane conference in the country. They are 10-3 in that conference. So that is extremely impressive. And you compare this record, compare 21-3 overall and 10-3 overall. Compare that to last year when this team was 13-18. 13 of 18. So they won 13 games last year. They lost 18 games last year overall. And then in conference play, they won 4 games and lost 14 games. Talk about a turnaround. Talk about a turnaround for Oregon State. And yeah, it's been pretty crazy to see the turnaround for Oregon State from a not very good team at all, a pretty terrible team actually, into one of the top teams in the country. They were ranked to finish in 10th place this season in the preseason polls. They're ranked to finish in 10th place in the Pac-12. And not even sniff being ranked nationwide. And now this team is ranked in the 9th spot. They're ranked 9. They're ranked 9th in the country. Going from last year, again, they went from last year being 13 wins, 18 losses to now being 9th in the country with a record of 21-3. It has been a crazy turnaround for Oregon State. And when you look at Oregon State, the reason for the turnaround, I would put a lot of that towards their defense. So defensively, Oregon State has been really good. They lead the Pac-12, and they're 6th in the country when it comes to opponents' field goal percentage, holding teams to only shooting 34% from the field. They're also 2nd in scoring defense as well, with their competitors only, the teams they play against only scoring around 58 points a game. They lead the Pac-12 in defensive three-point percentage with 27%. They also are killing the game with defensive rebounds with 31 defensive rebounds per game. Like, this team has had a complete turnaround from last year to this year, and it has been done on the defensive side of things. Rueck is a 4-time Pac-12 Coach of the Year. He is also a 4-time Naismith Coach of the Year semifinalist, and a 2-time Coach of the Year finalist, but he hasn't won it himself. He also is a 2-time AP Coach of the Year runner-up as well. So I really have seen a dramatic improvement from Oregon State this year, and I did want to just give a shout out to Coach Scott Rueck, because he has really been doing his thing at Oregon State. And again, as I said earlier, I love to see turnarounds. I love it when the underdog, they're able to get it together and get some wins on the board. So I did want to give a shout out to Coach Scott Rueck of Oregon State, because I do believe he has been doing a fantastic job this season. All right, y'all, we are moving down the list, y'all. Next up, I want to talk about Lisa Fortier. Actually, give me a second, y'all. Give me just a second. I have to stop my alarm. All right, hold on just a sec, guys. Hold on just a sec. That's what I get for setting 2,500 alarms. Okay, now where am I at? Okay, we're back. We are back. Y'all, if y'all can hit that like button, that would be fantastic. If we can get to 75 likes, that would be pretty phenomenal. Please hit that like button if y'all like, talk about college coaches and who's doing what, and giving people their flowers. All right, so we talked about some coaches already. We talked about Syracuse's Felisha Legette-Jack and what she's been doing with the Orange. We've talked about Scott Rueck with Oregon State and what he has done with this team. And now let's talk about Lisa Fortier. Lisa Fortier is in her 10th season at Gonzaga. And y'all, Gonzaga has been very good. They are 27-2 on the season, 27 wins and 2 losses on the season. They are perfect in the West Coast Conference, the WCC, 14-0 for the program. Again, 14-0 in conference play, 27-2 overall. They are the best mid-major team in the country. Gonzaga they've put mid-majors on the map, and it's pretty awesome. It really is pretty awesome. For Coach Lisa Fortier, she has reached 250 wins for her career this season. She also has been able to get this team to their biggest win in program history. And that was against number 3 Stanford. She currently has a record of 259 wins and 601 losses in her career. Yes, you can say yes. She plays for the WCC. She plays in the WCC or with Gonzaga. The WCC is not the best conference in the world, but it's a mid-major conference. So of course, it's not Power 5. But even with that said, having a record of 259 wins and 61 losses in your career is pretty phenomenal. Right now, she's 5th in winning percentages in terms of active D1 coaches at a 80% winning percentage. Lisa Fortier is also just continuing to do her thing. She has been taking Gonzaga to sort of new heights since she's been there, and they've been consistently good over the last several years. So they were 28-5 last season. The year before that, they were 27-7. The year before that, they were 23-4. You can say that, yes, the reason why they're getting all these wins is because they play in the WCC and they're mid-major and all that stuff. You can say that. But there is something to be said about Gonzaga and the way that they play. Yes, they play in the WCC, but they also have some pretty good wins against Power 5 schools. This isn't like the Zags are ducking and dodging competition. No, they're dominating in the WCC, and when they can get games against higher level talent, they're stepping up and doing and just sort of continuing to put themselves on the map. So for those who have not watched a Gonzaga women's basketball game, I highly recommend you watch it because this team is good. Their coach is really good, and I'm just looking to continue to see them play well. This season, again, as I said earlier, they beat Stanford this season. Stanford, one of the best teams in the country. The Zags beat them. They beat them 69-78 in December. It wasn't just that. They also played other Power 5 schools, including Louisville. Yes, they did lose to Louisville, but they had a really good showing in that game. When you look at other games, they beat Arizona. Of course, Arizona's not the best team in the world, but I'm just saying. My point is, the Zags are trying to play top teams when they are in non-conference play, right? They played Washington State this season, which is a game that they barely lost. This is a team that is good, and they're coached up. They're coached well, and y'all bet not sleep on Gonzaga because Coach Lisa, she gonna have something for y'all. I'm just saying, Stanford lost to him. I'm just saying. I am just saying. Aubrey said, hit that like button, everybody. Y'all listen to Aubrey. Hit that like button. Queen says 27-2 is real good. It is. It absolutely is. Yes. Dream Chaser says Don Staley hands down the best coach right now. We're going to get into Don Staley in just a sec. YJ says, I hope the Zags can have home court in the first rounds of March Madness. I think they have a good chance to. I think they have a good chance to be ranked high enough to be able to do that. Kyra says, so glad you're talking Zags basketball. I was watching highlights last night, and EGM is nothing to sleep on. Facts. For Kyra, the Zags are her sleeper team. Nice. I mean, they're not a bad sleeper team to have. They are not a bad sleeper team to have. All right, so we kind of talked about some stuff. We talked about some of the coaches that I think are should be seen as having a decent shot at making at winning the Coach of the Year, but you can't really talk about the Coach of the Year without mentioning the person who has just been dominating the coaching landscape for several years. And y'all, that is Dawn Staley. So of course, I got to talk about Dawn Staley because, I mean, what is there to say? Dawn Staley has been rolling with this team. Someone said it earlier in the chat. This is the South Carolina Gamecocks is a program that has been dominant for a long while now. Ever since the A'ja Wilson era, I would say has been it sort of redefined women's basketball as we know it. You had, a phenomenal player of A'ja Wilson's stature going to South Carolina, then Aaliyah Boston. Now we're in this new era of sort of the young players just sort of rocking and rolling and doing their thing. This is a coach who is in the potential to make history this year. She already made history in terms of her winning back to back and just sort of like killing when it comes to the SEC championship. They've already secured that championship already. Dawn Staley is a coach who has just hit 600 wins, and she's still a pretty young coach in terms of her coaching tenure. She really is just doing her thing as a coach for South Carolina. South Carolina is the lone undefeated team in the country, and it's looking like it's probably going to stay that way for maybe even the rest of the season. This is a team that is number one in the SEC. This is a team that yes has had some close games this year, but they haven't lost. They are 26-0 on the season. Last year for the regular season, they were undefeated as well. This is a team that has reinvented themselves from last year to this year. They have a completely new starting lineup. The players who were on the team last year didn't have that much of a role last year, and now they're leading the charge for the team. This is a very good team. And also, this is a very different team. This is a team that people didn't expect to be undefeated at this moment right now. And so you can't really talk about Coach of the Year without talking about how phenomenal Dawn Staley has been at South Carolina and specifically what she has done this season for this program. Like you have to talk about it, because when you look at this team, they have a defensive identity, which they've had for a long while, and now they're more of an offensive threat. They saw that one loss they had last year, and they went and got some shooters. They went and got some slashers. And now look at this team. They were undefeated last year for the regular season. This year they are undefeated so far during this season. Dawn Staley has done a remarkable coaching job. So yes, I'm talking about all these other coaches and giving them their flowers, but of course I do have to acknowledge the greatness of Dawn Staley as a coach. She likely will win this award. I'm going to talk about who exactly I would vote for in a sec, but if she wins, it makes sense, and it absolutely makes sense if she were to win this again, because she has done a phenomenal job as a head coach for South Carolina. Let's get into what some of y'all got to say. Let's get into what some of y'all got to say. What up, RC? What up, RC? How you doing today? How you doing? Happy Friday. Happy Friday. Rich says long shot Kenny Brooks. Yeah. I mean, Kenny Brooks has been doing his thing last year and this year for Virginia Tech. We'll talk more about him in a sec. Keith said, don't forget about Tiffany Mitchell. Yes. Absolutely. Tiffany Mitchell was a baller at South Carolina. Hinokami Kai says, it's so impressive what Don Staley has done in South Carolina. Facts. Dwayne says, best defensive coach in history, I believe. That is a big statement to make, and a statement that I would not comment on because I have to be in the mode of thinking specifically about defense and comparing her to some of the other great coaches that have coached the game of women's college basketball. So, Dwayne, what do y'all think? Do y'all agree with what Dwayne just said, or do y'all disagree? Let me know. Let me know in the chat. All right. Let's see what else y'all got to say. There's some talk about the Iowa game from yesterday. Queen says Dawn consistently does amazing work with South Carolina. Yeah, she does. She does. YJ says, so impressive. Dawn kept Gamecocks healthy. Yeah, she did. Sub-Zero says, I think conference also has to do with who should receive Coach of the Year. Oh, facts. Okay. Kyra says, it's got to be Dawn. Need that on a t-shirt. Jaden says South Carolina just works hard, man. They don't want to let each other down by falling short, so that's their push. They're going to play all 40 minutes of basketball for the win. Yeah, or if they don't, Don Staley taking them out the game. If they don't, she taking them out the game. So yeah, that is that. Yeah, absolutely. All right, so Natalie says, I agree with Dwayne. Look what she put together this year based on what she lost last year. Nobody ever saw this team coming. Yeah. Yeah. All right, so we talked about some of the coaches already. Let's kind of get into Coach Vic Schaefer at Texas. So we all know Coach Vic Schaefer and how great of a coach he is. He, before joining the Longhorns, he was at Mississippi State and was a fantastic coach for that team. And now he's at Texas. And y'all, Vic Schaefer has done a work on this program. He is on the list for a potential Coach of the Year win. And when it comes to Vic Schaefer, he has really coached up this team. Right now, the Longhorns are 24-3 overall on the season. They are 11-3 in Big 12 play. They are 5th in the country right now. And their net is they're ranked number 4 in their net rankings. And all of this being said, phenomenal season for Texas. But this is all being done with Rory Harmon being out. Rory Harmon unfortunately tore her ACL in December. And since December 27th, she's been out. Not available for the team. She was their starting point guard, their engine that got this team moving. And when you have a player that goes down like that, a player that means so much to your program, it's easy for a team to just fall off and be terrible, right? But this Texas team didn't do that. Again, this Texas team is 24-3 on the season. Rory Harmon's been out for 2 months now. And they were able to slide in the freshman at the point guard position. And this team is balling. This team is balling. And I would say that's a huge thing that to me gives Vic Schaefer a little bit more of a oomph as a potential coach of the year candidate. Madison Booker is a forward. Yes, she played a little bit of point guard in her high school career, but Vic Schaefer put her in as a point guard after Rory Harmon got out due to injury, and Madison Booker has taken over as a freshman and has led this team to victory after victory after victory after victory. Yes, they've lost some games this year, but overall, Texas is a way better team than we were expecting them to be, especially after that Rory Harmon injury. And also, another thing to think about, another thing to have in mind is that Texas has been without Gatson for a bunch of games as well. She's missed 13 games on the season so far. And they're still rolling. So, even without players on the court, top players on the court, Vic Schaefer has found a way to get the dub. Texas is good. This is Vic Schaefer's 11th straight season of having a 20 win season, at least a 20-win season. So I did want to make sure to give a shout out to Texas and Vic Schaefer, because I think what they have done has been pretty phenomenal, especially after the injury to Rory Harmon, especially after that. So let's see what y'all got to say. Let's see. Groovy says, if Rory didn't get hurt, Texas would be top 3 right now. Yes, I would agree with that. Yep, I would agree with that. Richard has a question about Dawn's record at Temple. Looks like Groovy found it. She was 180 wins and 79 losses at Temple. Marcus says, Vic deserves some coach of the year looks too, because Texas has stayed a machine despite dealing with a lot. Yes. Yeah. Absolutely. That, which is why I really wanted to talk about him. Dwayne says, Vic Schaefer is a great coach. He is. Hinokami says, that hurt my feelings for Rory in Texas. Yeah. Rory is a extremely special player. She is. And the way, even with the ACL tear, she's still there at games. She's still at practice. She's still trying to coach up her team and helping them out, even on the bench. She's just a great team player. She just is. She's a star in her own right. And she's a great team player. So shout out to Rory Harmon. Prayers up for her that she's able to heal and be able to get back to playing basketball. Because Rory Harmon is she's pretty phenomenal. She is pretty phenomenal. And y'all, she is a junior, so she'll be back next year. Luminera says Rory is special, going to be a great coach after a great career. Yeah, I could absolutely see her being a coach. I can absolutely see her being a coach. Queen says Texas really still impressed and pushed this season, even without their star, even with their star player out for the majority of the season. Yep. I would agree. All right, so those are some of the coaches that I specifically wanted to call out. Of course, we're going to talk about some of the other coaches as well. I didn't make a photo slide for everybody, but let's kind of talk about the ones that I didn't talk about already. We have Lisa Bluder, who has coached up Iowa. Yes, Iowa has Caitlin Clark, and who's been doing a thing. But I also feel like overall, Iowa is still a better team than what some people were expecting them to be earlier in the season. So she for sure is going to get a look at Coach of the Year. I doubt she wins, because I think there's a more convincing argument for some of the other coaches. But Lisa Bluder is in the running for Coach of the Year. So I did want to just make sure you all knew that. I can't remember their ranking. So I just want to find that real quick. Iowa is 23-3 on the season. All right, we also have Kenny Brooks. Kenny Brooks at Virginia Tech. Kenny has been doing his thing. Last year, Virginia Tech surprised me, at least. I'm sure Virginia Tech surprised a lot of people in making it all the way to the Final Four. Last year, Iowa did as well. Virginia Tech, they are currently 22-4 on the season. They are 13-2 in conference play, which puts them in first place in the ACC. Last year, they were 31-5, and in the conference play, they were also very, very good. There was questions that I had about Virginia Tech and like whether or not last year was a fluke for them. But they have proven this year that last year was not a fluke. They are a very good team, and that is, of course, thanks to Kenny Brooks as a coach. That's also thanks to George Amor and Liz Kitley just being phenomenal, and them being able to put together a team that sort of complements what both of those players have to offer. And Kenny Brooks has just, I think he's done a great coaching job. He really has done a great coaching job, both last year and this year. So shout out to Coach Kenny Brooks. They are 14-0 on the season at home this year. And they currently have a 24-game winning streak at their home arena. Senior Day is on Sunday, so that is something to know for Virginia Tech. And College Game Day will be at Virginia Tech this weekend. So that is something to know for Virginia Tech. Kenny Brooks has been a great coach. Cori Close has been a very good coach as well. I would call Cori Close one of the best recruiters in women's college basketball. She's a coach that has gotten some big time transfers to come to her program. Most notably, the number one being in Lauren Betts. For UCLA, they have had a huge turnaround from last year to this year. And a good amount of that is because of the new faces they have on this team. When we look at this UCLA program, we see a team that is 21-5 on the season. They are ranked 12th in the nation. They have a lot of talent on this program, and Cori Close has been able to sort of build a team that seems to really love each other, and seems to really care about each other. So shout out to Coach Cori Close. She won't win, but I do think she is deserving of being on the list, just like Lisa Bluder, just like Kenny Brooks, just like all the other coaches. I talked about Lisa Fortier earlier. Lindsay Gottlieb. You got to talk about her as well because again, just like Cori Close is a great recruiter, Lindsay Gottlieb is a great recruiter as well. Most notably in getting freshman Juju Watkins to choose USC. And incoming for next year, they have a really good incoming freshman class as well. This USC team is a team that is way better than they used to be. USC has been bad, not good program for a long time, and now this season they're looking very, very good. When you look at what USC has to offer right now, they're 20-4 on the season. They're ranked 7th in the nation. Didn't expect that coming into the season. And yes, this team is a team that is sort of similar to Iowa, where they really do run on one player. But even still, like you have to still coach them up. You still have to get more impact from the rest of the team. And I think Lindsay Gottlieb has done a pretty good job this season in helping to turn around this team. Yes, Juju Watkins is a huge reason for that. If USC does not have Juju Watkins, would they be ranked? No. But that's not to say that that as a program, they're not doing what they should be doing, right? She's doing her job in recruiting good talent for next season. So we'll see how USC continues to improve. I could absolutely see Lindsay Gottlieb on this list for several years to come down the road due to the players that they have. When we look at some of the other coaches, we have Kevin McGuff at Ohio State, who's just... Ohio State's doing a thing. For the last several weeks, I've been talking about Ohio State and how good they have been. 23-3 on the season. They rank 2nd in the nation right now. And Coach McGuff he's doing a good job coaching them up. We also have Wes Moore for NC State, also doing a good job. Kim Mulkey with LSU. They're getting it together and pulling together some wins. And I do believe that LSU is going to make a huge run in the NCAA tournament. So y'all watch out for LSU. They're, didn't have the best of seasons, but I do think in the postseason they're going to be very good. We also have J.R. Payne, who showed that last year has not been a fluke. Colorado is still a very, very good squad. They are 20-5 on the season. We also have, we talked about Scott Rueck. We talked about Vic Schaefer. We talked about Don Staley. And y'all, we can't not talk about one of the greatest coaches in the women's game, Tara VanDerveer, the winningest coach in women's college basketball, period. Stanford is 23-3 on the season. She has done a masterful job with this program. And I would say, especially in the development of her players. Most notably, Kiki Iraofen. Last year, Kiki Iraofen, wasn't that great. She wasn't really, she was okay. She was an okay player. But this year, she has transformed, absolutely transformed. And I know that was with huge help from Tara VanDerveer and the way that coaching staff really coached her up in the offseason and got her ready to ball out of control when it came to this season. So yeah, those are the contenders. Those are the contenders for this year's Coach of the Year. If you all had a vote, let me know in the comments, who would you vote for if you had a vote for the Coach of the Year? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. So I kind of went over the candidates. Now I do want to talk about who I would pick for the Coach of the Year. And you all have kind of, over time, I feel like you all have kind of gotten a sense of how I think and like what I really enjoy when it comes to women's college basketball. And you know that I have an affinity for the underdog, right? I have an affinity for the people who aren't supposed to win to pull out a win, right? I want I enjoy that about the game of basketball. And because of that, I put close attention to people and teams who were not good last year and are now very good this year, or teams that have undergone a transformation of some sort. And because of that, I would put my coach of the year, it has to be Felisha Legette-Jack. Felisha Legette-Jack, she's not going to win. But that would be my vote. She would be my vote because barring yesterday's loss, Syracuse has really, really been good. They have undergone a transformation as a program over the last 2 years. And it's just amazing to see. It shows a lot for a team to go, again, from 11 wins, 18 losses, to 20 wins, 13 losses, to now this is a program who has 22 wins, 5 losses, second in the ACC. I've been very impressed by that. I've been very, very impressed by that. And yes, Don Staley is phenomenal and has done a great job with South Carolina and transforming them like with a whole new starting five. So I understand people who would vote for Don Staley, but for me, that would be my vote. My vote would be for the orange, for Felisha Legette-Jack, because she has, I really think she's done a phenomenal job with this program. And this team would not be where it's at right now if not for her going back to her alma mater and transforming this team. So that is my vote. Again, Felisha Legette-Jack will not win. She won't. Don Staley will win. But yeah, I would say that would, like, she would be my number one pick. She would be my number one pick. We'll see what happens. Also, I would say Lisa Fortier would also be higher up there for me as well. So yeah, that's my pick. Let's see what y'all. Let's see who y'all will vote for in the comments. Let's see. Honestly says Tara's 1-of-1 commemorative jacket by Nike was fire. It was really nice. Queen says Don has my vote. Nolan says, who is the coach from Mississippi, probably Mississippi State, I'm assuming, who struck a pose on that buzzer beater against LSU? Will he three-peat to have a bright future and a long career? Yeah, what is his name again? I forgot Mississippi. He's the ooh-wee guy. I'm blanking on his name. Oh my goodness, I'm blanking on his name. I wonder if anybody remembers his name in the comments. But yeah, he's a fun coach. He is a fun coach. Sam Purcell. There we go. Sam Purcell. That's his name, Nolan. Sam Purcell. Honestly says I would say Don, then North Carolina's coach or Auburn's coach. Okay. All right, fair enough. Michaela says, I know Don's going to win, but I'm really rooting for Scott. Yeah, Scott Rueck he's really done a great job for Oregon State. Again, from last year to this year, really amazing. Really amazing job. Kelsey says, has Syracuse ever looked this good? I can't remember. I cannot remember Syracuse women's basketball looking this good. I maybe they have in the past, but I don't remember it. Last time I remember talking about Syracuse when it came to basketball was when Carmelo Anthony was at Syracuse. Like, I'm just saying, y'all. Like, I cannot remember another time where Syracuse women's basketball was this good. Uh, 224 says K-State haven't been in the top 10 in how many years? I don't know, but a lot. Toot says they can't keep giving Coach Don the award. It's lazy. And Toot's going to vote for Sam Purcell. All right. Keefe says the Colorado coach. All right. J.R. Payne has been really good for Colorado. She really has. Dwayne says, if not Don, I'd have no issue with Felisha Legette-Jack. Sheann says, I think Don deserves to win. Do you think we could see Ohio State versus South Carolina in the NCAA tournament? Yeah, we could see that. That'd be a fun matchup. That would be a fun matchup. Teresa says, I'm a Gamecock fan, but I don't see us beating Indiana. Really? Oh, okay. All right. Carol says, Don is a no-brainer. Lost 7 players, 5 to WNBA draft. Total new team. I mean, yeah. I get it. I mean, Don Staley, is a great coach, but personally, I wouldn't vote for her for Coach of the Year. She is phenomenal. So I actually understand everybody who votes for her. I get it. But to me, I just love total transformations. And yes, South Carolina has transformed a ton from last year to this year. But I also think it's important to sort of acknowledge and celebrate what Syracuse has done over the last couple of years, and just how good they have been. And Felisha Legette-Jack absolutely deserves a lot of credit for that. Also, Scott Rueck and what Scott Rueck has done. For me, it's Felisha Legette-Jack, it's Scott Rueck, it's Lisa Fortier, it's Don Staley after that. So that's who I would that's what I would do. This isn't yeah. So I'm just saying. I am just saying. Also, if for you guys who don't know, if Dawn does win this, she would become the third coach in women's basketball history to have won the Coach of the Year award 4 times, and the first coach to win it 3 seasons in a row. So that's a little bit of history for y'all. The only coaches that I've won 4 times so far is Gino Auriemma and Pat Summitt. And Dawn Staley will be joining that company once she wins this year. She's going to win this year. I mean, she's going to win. But I do think it's important to make sure to give flowers to coaches that we don't talk about often, that have really been doing a fantastic job. And again, Coach Felisha, Coach Scott, they've really done a great job. Carol says second choice Scott Rueck. Yeah, Scott Rueck has done a great job. Yep. Honestly, says if they're gonna vote for Caitlin for this year's Player of the Year, they can vote for Don. Devin, I absolutely agree. Yes, would love to see a non-Power 5 coach win the award. Yes. Because y'all, it's not just all about the Power 5s. There's some other coaches that have really been doing a great job as well. What's up, Janae? How you doing today? Happy Friday, y'all. All right, so that was the main thing I wanted to talk about, y'all. I did not want to be before you long for a long stream. So I know a lot of times I I start talking about one thing and then I sort of move on and talk about a whole bunch of other stuff in the stream. But today I was trying to be short and succinct, and I mean, an hour isn't really short, but for me, if y'all been rocking with me on these live streams, y'all know that for me an hour of a stream is pretty short, because we be going for 2 hours, 3 hours sometimes. But we're gonna keep this stream short. I did just want to just talk about the Coach of the Year and just sort of talk about my thoughts on that. Guys, let me know what you are looking forward to watching this weekend, because we do have some great games ahead of us. I do want to just preview this. I do want to preview today's games for you all, just so y'all know what's happening in the world of women's basketball today. So when we look at today, there's some pretty important games, right? We have USC going against Colorado today. That game is at 9 p.m. on the Pac-12 network, and that's 9 p.m. Central Time. So I don't know what time that is in your area, but that is 9 Central Time. We also here, I'm going to try to share my screen actually, so I can actually just show you guys the schedule. Sometimes my I'm trying to show stuff and it doesn't work. Well, I guess I can't share my screen. That's okay. Actually, I can. Okay. It looks like I can. Just give me a second, guys. My apologies. All right, so let's take a look at some of the games this week, or today, I should say. So looking at these games, we have Colorado versus USC. That game again is at 9 p.m. At USC. We have Arizona versus Stanford. That game is at 9 p.m. as well. We have Oregon State against Washington State. That's going to be a fun battle. That is at 9 p.m. Oregon versus Washington, and Arizona State versus Cal. We got some other games as well happening right now. Let's see, on Saturday, let's look at some of the games. We have Texas versus UCF. Villanova versus Creighton. The Texas versus UCF is on the Big 12 network at 11 a.m. It's also on ESPN Plus. The Creighton versus Villanova game is why is it not? Okay, there we go. The Villanova versus Creighton game is at 11 a.m. on Fox. So y'all make sure to watch that game. I know this isn't like it's not like two top 25 teams playing against each other, but I did want to make sure to shout that out, because y'all, it's important for us to watch not just the big games, but also watch the smaller games that are on national TV as well, because we are letting the networks know that we want them to play more women's basketball, and we don't want it to just all be about some like the main teams that everybody always wants to talk about, right? So I do think it's important for us to make sure to support those games and watch those games as well. We have Baylor versus West Virginia on the Big 12 Network and ESPN Plus. That game is at 1 p.m. on Saturday. We have OU versus their in-state rivals in Oklahoma State. That game is at 1 p.m. on Fox as well. So y'all make sure to check out Fox tomorrow. We got some games for y'all. Now just looking at the rest of the schedule, I think that's it for like some of the main games. Yeah, I think that's it for the main games on Saturday. Oh, well, I mean, we have Iowa State versus BYU. That game is at 6 p.m. on the Big 12. And we have TCU versus Houston at 6 p.m. as well on the Big 12. That is your Saturday schedule. And let's talk about Sunday, y'all, because we got what someone was in my chat it was a couple of days ago or something that said that Tennessee is going to upset LSU on Sunday. And while it's possible, I don't know if it's likely, but if it happens, I want to see it because y'all know I love me some upsets. So we have LSU versus Tennessee. That game is at 11 a.m. on ESPN. Yeah, and I'm so bummed about that time, y'all. I am so bummed about that time because, y'all, I like games to start at 12 p.m. on Sundays because, y'all, I got church to go to. And I'm not missing church to watch basketball, but I'll probably miss the first quarter of that game, and then be able to watch the rest of it. Yeah. But yeah, that game is at 11 a.m. on ESPN, LSU versus Tennessee. We also have Notre Dame versus Boston College at 11 a.m. on the ACC network. Virginia versus Louisville at 11 a.m. as well. We have Illinois versus Iowa. Now, y'all, we should watch out for this game because Illinois just beat Indiana. And Indiana just beat Iowa. So let's see. let's see if Iowa is going to be able to beat Illinois because, Anyway, that game is at 12 p.m. on FS1. Let's look at some of the other games happening. We have Virginia Tech that's going to be going against University of North Carolina. North Carolina just got a big upset this week, so let's see if they'll be able to continue their momentum and beat Virginia Tech. That game is at 1 p.m. on the ACC network. We have in-state rivals, KU versus K-State. That game is at 1 p.m. on ESPN2. Syracuse plays Pitt at 1 p.m. as well. I mean, guys, we have a boatload of games this Sunday. South Carolina versus Kentucky. That game is on the SEC network. We have Utah versus USC. That game is at 2 p.m. on the Pac-12 network. Y'all, that's going to be a really good game to watch as well. Oregon State versus Washington at 2 p.m. Y'all, we just have a lot of games. And, y'all, we got the game I will be at. UConn versus DePaul in Chicago at Wintrust Arena at 5 p.m. on Sunday, y'all. So I will try to go live. Sometimes at Wintrust Arena, my internet connection doesn't work right. So I will try to go live for that game and literally do in-game commentary as I'm watching it. Similar to what me and Mama did when we went to that Chicago State game. So yeah, I would try my best to do in-game commentary for DePaul versus UConn. But I am excited about that game because it's always cool to be able to go to games in person and not just watch them on TV and talk about them. So yeah, I will be at that game. So when it comes to Sunday, I will probably go live right after the LSU versus Tennessee game and sort of recap that game. And then that will be it for my sort of coverage on Sunday for some of the other games that are happening because I will then go to Wintrust Arena to watch UConn play DePaul. UConn, of course, should win that game, but here's the hoping for an upset. Again, I love upsets, so we'll see. But yeah, so I will be live on Sunday, probably around 1 p.m. And then I will try to be live at Wintrust Arena at 5 for the DePaul versus UConn game. But again, sometimes I have bad signal, so I may not be able to go live. If I'm not able to go live, I will record it and then just post it later. And then me and my mom we'll be doing a post-game recap of that game. Similarly to how we did our Talking Sky with Mom podcast. But yeah, that's the game plan for the weekend. That's game plan for the weekend. Ooh, super chat. Thank you so much. Apes22. Thank you so much. They said, excellent channel and thank you for providing a platform for women's basketball. Well, thank you so much. I thank you for rocking with me. I really do. I really, really do thank you for rocking with me. And thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate it, y'all. I really do. I really do appreciate super chats. I really do. So yeah, we got some good games to watch out for. Nolan says, will DePaul sell out? I hope so. I will say that DePaul has been doing a great job trying to get people to buy tickets. I have been seeing ads a bunch for tickets to that game. And it's kind of funny that I think I'm not sure how they target because I keep getting the ads, but I bought my ticket a long time ago, but I'm still seeing the ads to buy tickets for the UConn game. So they're getting close to selling out. I don't know if they'll sell out that exact game, but I'm hoping they will do that. I'm hoping they will. Let's see what y'all have to say. Let's see. Whoa, that is a huge statement. K Tims, I think that's how you pronounce it. K Tim said Quita is the GOAT of women's college hoops. Just saying. I don't know about that, but I appreciate the sentiment. I'm just a person who loves the game, loves to talk about it, and loves to engage with people online talking about the game we love and spread some entertainment, spread some education, spread some just sort of good vibes all around when it comes to women's college basketball and women's basketball in general. So I really do thank you so much for that comment. But yeah, there's definitely other people who've been in the game way longer than me that for sure probably deserves that compliment. But I really do appreciate that though. I do. Michaela says, man, all the good games are bunched together at the same time. Yeah, you're right about that. Kentucky Lucky says that will be fun at DePaul. Yep. That will be very fun. I'm excited about it. I am excited about it. DD in Tennessee says, not even partial. Tennessee is my alma mater, but beating LSU is not happening. Audrey said, I'm late, but I'm here. That's all that matters, Audrey. That's all that matters. Hopefully you had a great day, Audrey. Yes, M is right. Yeah, DePaul almost beat UConn last season at home. Yep, just 2-point loss. Yep, and I was actually at that game. When DePaul plays UConn at Wintrust Arena, I'll make it out and watch that game. Shakem says, Quita, do you have a Cash App? I want to send you money, but I'm having problems with iPay. I do not have a Cash App. I don't. But I am looking into creating a Patreon. I'm looking into creating a Patreon. So hopefully I will have that up pretty soon. And I want to sort of provide like a secondary space. So yes, we talk and we have a great time on YouTube, but I also think Patreon could be a great opportunity to sort of give bonus content as well. And also, once I do create merch to have the people who support via Patreon be able to get discounts and all that stuff. Merch is coming though. It's coming. My YouTube anniversary of sorts is coming up. And so yeah, I'm hoping to have some sort of merch for the awesome people of the internet coming soon. So in the next month or so, I should have that all set to go, and I will have the Patreon people be able to take advantage of a discount for that, and maybe even get some free merch for that. Anyway, I do not have a Cash App, but I'm trying to get up Patreon. That's a long way of answering your question, Shakim. But I appreciate you wanting to support. I really do. Let's see. In response to Didi from Tennessee saying that Tennessee's gonna lose, Teresa says, Didi, you never know. Yeah, you never know. You never know. You never know. Audrey says, giving Dawn the award isn't lazy. No one is out coaching her, in my opinion. Well, yeah, I mean, she is a fantastic coach. She is. She is a fantastic coach. Mo says, after how LSU played yesterday, Tennessee got this. Well, we'll see. We'll see. We will see about that. I mean, again, I love upsets, so hey, I'll be down for it. I just don't see it. I don't see Tennessee beating LSU. I don't. But I didn't see Auburn beating Tennessee either. And look at what we saw. the first time around, not this past time. LSU won this past time, but the first time they played each other at Auburn, Tennessee lost. Let's see. Thank you, Jen. Jen said, thank you, Quita. Always enjoy your content and you're building what you are here. Really enjoy and appreciate the content in you. Thank you so much, Jen. I really do appreciate that. I really do. Like you guys are like what is making this thing so fun to be able to come on and talk about the game that I love. Also, I do a lot of random research around women's basketball, but now I feel like I'm able to do more deeper dives because I'm like, okay, I gotta make sure I really, really understand this so I can present it to everybody. And it's like it's also improving my knowledge of women's basketball. Like I know a lot. I've been watching the game for a long time, but also there's some stuff that I don't know. There's some gaps that I don't know. And being able to have this channel and doing research and being able to present it to y'all during the Monday show and whatnot, it's been really, really fun. Even today's show, doing the research on some of the coaches and whatnot, I learned some stuff that I didn't know about some of these coaches. And yeah, I love the opportunity to be able to present that to you and yeah, just for y'all rocking with me. So yeah. Dwayne says Tennessee can pose LSU problems. Great home court. Yeah. I mean, yeah, they're going to be in Knoxville, so having home court advantage is going to be a huge thing. Didi from Tennessee says I've been trying to donate as well. So I guess there's something. There's something going on with I don't know, YouTube's donate button or something. I'm not sure, but yeah, I'll figure out. I'll figure out Patreon, and hopefully that'll be a better mechanism for if you want to support. No, zero pressure at all. But if you wanted to support, it'd be a way for you to do that. Keepfit says, new sub. Did you play college ball? I did not. Yeah. I know I'm sitting in this, but I am not a tall player. And when I was younger, I was tall, and I was a post player. And I've basically been the same height since I was like in, I don't know, 5th grade or something like that. So I was very tall for my age, and then just never really grew. But I continued on being a post player. I was a power forward and center basically my entire basketball career, and I was really, really good at it, even in high school. Really, really good. Like, you're not gonna score against me, But I never developed guard-like skills because I just always thought I was gonna grow. Eventually, I was going to have a late growth spurt and then be able to go to college and ball out at being like 6'3" or whatever. But that never happened. I never really grew again. So when I was going to college, I was actually going to play. I talked to the coach and whatnot. I didn't go to a D1 school, but I talked to the coach and whatnot and gave me a workout plan and whatnot. And I was going to do it. But I had second thoughts. I was like, you know what? I could try to learn to be a guard, but that's going to be very hard. Let me just not play because I don't the thing about me also is I don't come off the bench. I don't like it. Like, I've always basically started my entire career both playing basketball and playing in soccer. And so the idea of me sort of learning a new position and being on the bench, I just wasn't a fan of it because I knew as a post player I was very good, but also severely undersized, and is no college coach in their right mind would play me at a center position, even though defensively I got you, you know. So yeah, that's yeah. Anyway, I didn't play college ball. I did a little bit of intramural basketball, but no, I didn't play college ball. I did go to as many games as I could to support the women's basketball team, and like I loved it. I played soccer my freshman year in college, and then for that I just got rid of that and just had a great college experience. But no, I didn't play ball in college. Again, I keep having these long answers to simple questions. I could have just said no and moved on. But anyway, I gave you guys my whole life story. Let's see. Ernest says, I gotta give the coach of the year to Dawn Staley. She lost 7 players, and at the start of the season, South Carolina was not picked to be good. South Carolina, hands down, it's Dawn SEC. So yeah, I mean, I understand people who will say Dawn Staley. And Bad Guy Rob said anybody can get got. Yes. So in terms of that LSU versus Tennessee game, and in terms of any other game that we see this weekend, anybody can get got. Just because you're a good team don't mean you're going to win. I'm just saying. That don't mean you're going to win. So I think that is something that's something to note. That is for sure something to note. Let's see. Thank you, Sally. Sally says, there's no channel like yours. Glad you are here. Well, I'm glad to be here. I am very, very glad to be here. Again, I love the game. I really do. I do. And I wish I was taller, y'all. If I was taller, man, I would be either in the WNBA or overseas right now. Like I'd be balling. But it didn't work out that way, and that's fine. I still enjoy the game. I really do. Let's see. Kentucky Lucky says whichever team plays better at noon start time. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see who's able to play well at that time. Michaela says, Quita, I'm like the opposite. I'm forced to be a post right now, but I'm really a guard. Oh, really? How tall are you, Michaela? How tall are you? Or you're forced to be a post? DD from Tennessee says, you're doing your thing now. Your expertise is uncanny. Thank you so much. DD. It's also because, like, y'all, when I tell y'all I've been a women's basketball fan my whole life, like, y'all, I have been a women's basketball fan my entire life. I have obsessed about the game for forever. And it is finally that my random knowledge and me spending all day, every day watching women's basketball on TV when it's on, and then watching it on YouTube, and like all of that is finally paying off in this channel. It is finally paying off in this channel. all these hours watching the game and just knowing random history. The fact that I like remembered the thing about Pokey Chapman earlier, like it's because like I back in the day, I would a lot of the WNBA players used to play in Russia, right? And a good amount of them played for a team called Spartak, and there was other sort of Russian teams that were really good back in the day. They had WNBA players, and for a while, Pokey Chapman was the coach for that team. And like I I would be on random websites trying to figure out how many points did people score. And this was before Twitter or I didn't have a Twitter at that point. And I would be scouring the internet, looking at random Russian, trying to figure out what's going on to be able to know how Candace Parker is doing overseas, to know how, I think Sylvia Fowles was over there for a little while. Like, a lot of randomness trying to figure out what's going on overseas. And it's finally, all the random knowledge is finally paying off in this channel. Anyway. Devon says anyone can get God needs to be on your merch. Yes, it does. That's a good suggestion. That is a good suggestion. Nolan says amazing show. My 1 year anniversary will be the day you did the Indiana Fever's training camp preview show last spring. Wow. Yeah. Those were fun. Those are really fun to do. Those are really, really fun to do, looking at the training camps for the various teams last year. I'm going to do it again this year. I'm for sure going to do it again. That was really, really fun. Kiva says, I wish I was a little bit taller. I wish I was a baller. Oh man, that's a good reference. That's a good reference. All right. For y'all don't know that's a song. That was a part of a song. If y'all didn't know. Dee says, I agree with Shakim. Where's the merch, Quita? Awesome people of the internet got. Yeah, it's coming. It's coming. It is coming. Michaela says, I'm 5'8" in high school right now. It's rough. Y'all, let's send some positive vibes to Michaela. Michaela, I didn't realize you was in high school. That is fantastic, Michaela. Best of luck in your success as a women's basketball player. Yeah, you're 5'8", so like, depending on on how old you are in high school, that's probably why they're forcing you to be a post player right now, because there probably isn't that many people that are your height right now. That's my assumption. But I would highly recommend, Michaela, try to advocate to be one of those a modern post player, right? Like a post player, like like a Alyssa Peely of sorts. Yes, you can be down low and do your thing and post up and whatnot, but also you can step on that 3-point line and hit some shots, right? You have range. You're like a Candace Parker, nowadays most of Candace Parker's work is done outside the paint, so maybe you could try to be a modern post player, Michaela, and be like, hey, coach, I know you got me as a post, but I got some shots. I can shoot. So let's work it around. Let's not keep me in the paint like that, So I don't know. Hopefully that helps, Michaela. But y'all, Michaela, I didn't know you was in high school. Shout out to you, man. I hope you have a great you're probably mid-season right now, so I'm hoping you're having a great season so far, and as your season ends, like, best of luck to you. That's awesome. Kamikaze says period, Quita. Keefus says, I started watching women's basketball when Dawn was at UVA. Oh, that's awesome. All right. I feel like I've said that's awesome so many times in the stream. And I can't remember if I normally say that's awesome, but that's great. I don't know. That's a long time ago, Keefus. That was a long time ago. Yeah, Kyra giving another shout out to Michaela. Michaela gonna be killing it in a women's high school game. I mean, Michaela, as you start balling out of control, you start getting looks, and you transition as a 5'8" player, as you transition to being a guard, because it's gonna be hard. You trying to play college ball as a post 5'8", like that ain't happening. That's just like me. That's just like me back in the day. That ain't happening. But yeah, as you sort of progress your way into being the true position you want to be as a guard, I wish you the most of luck, the best of success on that. And that's a good suggestion. Keith says, play offense as a guard, defense on the post. That's a good suggestion. Yeah. I mean, that's kind of what if you look at Paige Beckers this season, that's kind of what she's been doing. They've been tasking her to defend post players a good amount of time. So I'm just saying. Vic says, you may not be the GOAT, but you are our GOAT. Bring on the merch. Thanks, Vic. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Shears Bree Wayne says, Quita, have you seen the latest bracketology? I've not. No. If it was released in the last 2 days, I have not. Guys, I have had the busiest time at work this week. So that's why I haven't really done any streams or any secondary videos. All I did was the Monday show, and I was live yesterday, live today. But y'all, work has been a lot this week. I've been busy, but yeah, so I haven't had a chance to look at it yet. I will take a look at it probably after the stream is over. Holly has joined the show, y'all. What up, Holly? Hope you're having a great Friday. See, yeah, we got some support. Michaela got some support in the chat. People giving Michaela some encouragement. There we go. That's what we do here. We cheer each other on and root for each other. M says, no, wait, Quita, don't remind me. Don't remind you of what? All right. Anyway, guys, we have been on for a while. I think I'll end it there. You guys have been phenomenal. We got some big games to watch this weekend. Again, I will try to be live after the LSU versus Tennessee games to just sort of do a recap of that. Then I will be at the UConn versus DePaul game. I will try to go live at that depending on my internet signal. We'll see how that happens. But if y'all in the Chicagoland area and you haven't gotten your tickets to UConn versus DePaul at Wintrust Arena, the Wintrust Arena is the same place where the Chicago Sky play. I would highly recommend y'all to get y'all tickets. Get y'all tickets to that game. It should be a fun time. It should be a really, really fun time. It is not sold out right now, so get your tickets. Support DePaul women's basketball, and let's support DePaul. Yeah, they might lose in this game, but they might win. DePaul has some pretty good ballers. So I've been rocking with them because, of course, I'm in Chicago, so I follow what they do, and I check into games and whatnot. But for the rest of y'all who haven't watched DePaul play this season, yeah, they're Anissa Morrow's gone, but they do have some ballers still on that team. So it should be a good game. M was saying, don't remind me about Page guard and post players. Yeah. Yep. Anyway, that's it, guys. Have a fantastic rest of your Friday. Get some rest, recuperate from the week, eat some good food, and y'all, I will talk to y'all soon. Until next time, guys. Bye-bye.